Good morning, everybody. For today, I am going to be sharing with you some information as to how you can survive these pressing times with high interest rates, how it is that you can end up paying off your mortgage a little sooner than expected. Um, the question that I want to answer for you today is, with my traditional method of saving up $20,000 and then purchasing it or 20% of the house value and then trying to purchase the house with a regular 30-year fix. Is there any hope that I can do that since the situation is so dire? I don't want to be trapped in a mortgage for 30 years with these high interest rates and all of that. Now, I want to show you a method that is going to help, especially with the 7%. This works best when there's higher interest. I'm going to show how this works, and hopefully this will be some encouragement to you, and this will be a means by which you can game the system, pretty much. All right, without more ado, here is the first thing I want to share with you. Here on my screen, you'll see the median home price for the US November 2023. Okay, we're going to use this median home price here to determine how much money you would need in order to save up in order to get your 20% down payment. So let's times this by 0.2%, or 0.2, which is 20%. And that will give us the 77,520. Now, this is the amount of money that you would need to save up. If you don't have this amount of money, it's highly recommended that you don't even bother with getting yourself a mortgage. But there's other ways. You can certainly do what is called a bridge loan. That means that you get a loan of the 77,520, so you can afford your mortgage of 387,600, which essentially means that now your total debt is over $450,000. So highly not recommended. But if that's how you want to live your life, go for it. Now, let's say you can, and you saved up your 77,520. And we want to see what gives you the most miles. Hey, how can you stretch this money as far as possible in affording your home? Now, what you can do is you can go ahead and do the normal route, which you would take the $77,000 and you would pay down your $387,600. So let's minus that, 387,600, and you end up with your $310,080, which is what your mortgage would be based upon. Now, don't mind the negative sign. I just did that backwards because I was too lazy to go about doing it the right way. The negative sign don't matter. Okay, I'm going to use Brett Whistle here to find the amortization schedule for this. And what did we say it was? 310.80. 310.80. Okay. Today's interest rates is around 7% nationwide, which is very high, by the way, but high for me because I'm a millennial. Okay, so our monthly payment will be about 20%. Now, it will be about $2,000. Okay, now let's look at the schedule. It says that our percentage, the principal that we're going to pay at the end, is 139%, which is to say that you're going to give the bank about one more house and close to a half more house when you're done paying it. So the bank would be very happy about this. That in terms of number is this is the amount that you borrow, but the total that you pay back is this amount, and this is the amount that you would put in interest, which, as you can see, this is a whole lot of money. Okay, some people are comfortable with that because this is a whole stretch of 30 years, and if you put in um, inflation, things like that, maybe it's not as bad as it looks. But for people like myself, I am not okay with that. So this is what your schedule will look like. First one is always hard to take. You put in so much money, $2,000, and 1,800 goes right into the interest. All that goes into your principal is 254. That's not okay. Okay, so it's going to take a very long time to get to where it's called the break-even point. The break-even point is where the amount of money that goes in each month is just about half, or it's actually where the profit, the amount that goes into your principal, is a little bit or slightly more than the amount that goes into the interest. Now, in order to get here, you would have to pay $134,462.98 in order to get to this point. Now, you might say, hey, I just put $77,000 into this thing. I don't have $134,000 more to put in my principal to get to this point where it would make sense. So where's this money going to come from? Okay, well, let's see where we can find some of this money. We're probably not going to find all of it, but we can find some of this money. And notice here that you would pay pretty much the majority of the interest by the time you get here. So at this time, the bank is very happy. The bank got all the interest pretty much. It's only 100,000 remaining, or give or take, that the bank will need. And you are only halfway in your payments after 242 payments. Okay, now let's see what can be done here. If you are like me and you don't think that paying that amount of money is acceptable, what you could do instead is, if you go over to NerdWallet here, NerdWallet puts out these first-time home buyer programs, and it gives you different mortgages. So let's take a look at best mortgage lenders here, and you can see that in Rocket, you only need 1% down. This one says 3%, that's 3%. I would clearly go with the 1% down. So how much would that be? Let's see here. So this is our median home value, and we need 1%, so that's 0.0. Okay, times 0.01. Okay, that would give us 3,876. Then we just need to minus original. This would be our new mortgage. Okay, if we do that, put in our new mortgage here, take out those. First thing I want you to notice here is that your payment is now going to be about $500 more each month. But what about the rest of the money? Right? We said it was 77,520, and we only took out 3,800. So let's say we took out 4,000. We would have $73,000 remaining. Now, what if you took that $73,000 and you put it right into your principal? This is if you can afford this extra $500 a month. Put that right into the principal, we would now go down to where it says 73,000 cumulative, which would be all the way down here. This would mean that you skipped 147 payments, and you're now down to 148, which means that you skipped $302,411.95 of interest. Let that sink in for a little bit. Which is to say that you're not really at the break-even point yet. Should be another 100 payments down the road, but you just skipped a lot of interest, and you also skipped a lot of time. Now let's see how much time you would have left to pay off this mortgage. So it's 148, or should do 360 minus 8. That would be 212 divided by 12, and that is 17 years. And let's say around 17.7 years you would have left. Okay, which is to say that out of the 30 years, you just skipped 13 years of payments. Now, if that's not good news to you, I don't know what is. And these loans are available. You can find them online. You can, if at worst case scenario, you can get a 3% down, and then chug in the rest of the money. And that would cut the amount of time that you need. So let's say you're 30 years old. Instead of paying off your mortgage when you're 60, by the time you're 47, you'd be done paying off your house. Your house would be your own. You'd actually own your house. And maybe early retirement could be a thing for you, which is a big thing for us millennials. Now, I am just giving you the tip of the iceberg here, because you can use this system to do many, many other things. And then in another episode, I'm going to show you how you could potentially make your way down to the green mark without really doing much more. Okay? Yes, you'll have to pay some more money each month, for sure, but it's nowhere close to what you'll have to pay over the course of the 30 years. So I want to leave that with you for today, and hopefully this was very informative for you, and you can use this. Please let me know down below in the comments how you plan to use this, or if you've ever used this kind of system before, so that other people can benefit. Alrighty, thank you very much, and have a great day.